So Mark, thank you very much for inviting me. I'm here with my colleague Andy from KTN, Knowledge Transfer Network. I'm here to talk about the Cybersecurity Academic Startup Accelerator program. This is a program that we have been running now for 3 years. We're about to start our 4th year, and I'll give you a little bit of an overview. Before I start though, quick show of hands. So who in the room is from a university or an academic? Okay. Of those, okay, leave your hands up. Which of you are not undergraduates? So leave your hand up if you're not an undergraduate. Okay, that's fine. So part of the talk is aimed at you. The rest of you, are you industrialists in some form or other? So what do you do? Industrialists? Yeah? What do the rest of you do then? No? You're incognito, that's good. Okay, this is cyber. That's fine. But thank you very much, Mark, for inviting me. So CyberASAP is funded by DCMS, Department for Digital Culture, Media and Sport, and Innovate UK, which is the innovation agency of the UK government. It's part of UK Research and Innovation now. This is, as was mentioned earlier in the MP's talk, about the National Cybersecurity Strategy. So lots of money to encourage cybersecurity in the UK, and there's three strands. There's develop, deter and defend, and we're talking about the develop strand, developing the cybersecurity ecosystem in the UK. And that runs till 2021, so we're still within scope. And along the way, if you're from industry, there are other DCMS-funded initiatives. I'm not going to talk about them now, but if you're thinking of starting a cybersecurity business, or you've got a cybersecurity business and you're looking to grow, there's different activities there. So we can talk about that in the networking afterwards. So CyberASAP, actually, before I talk about what we've done so far, it's a program which lasts, as a current form now, lasts about 10 or 11 months. Teams from universities apply, they go through a program of developing a value proposition, doing market validation of that value proposition, and then developing what we currently call a minimum viable product. And it culminates in what we call a demo day. The current cohort, the demo day is next week. But rolling back, year 1 and year 2, we've had 9 companies were formed out of that outtake, and we've had over £3 million of funding. There's an undisclosed amount in addition to that from Google. So one of our teams, which actually interestingly, based on the earlier talk, the team was based at Imperial College. They were doing graphics testing graphics drivers, because the proposition is, in some cases, graphics drivers are very buggy, and you could actually spoof them. So if you had an autonomous car or camera recognition, if you showed it a certain pattern, it might do something unintended. So that was a company called Graphics. They were acquired by Google. But it's good news for the UK, because they are in the UK, they're working for Google. The technology is being used in Android and Google's ecosystem. It's also open source, so it's available to anybody to use. It's called Graphics Files, so do look it up. It's on GitHub. And other companies are working with various companies, including the police, and Europol, and Lloyds, and Fujitsu, among others. If you want to know more about this, I've got a little general flyer here, but cyberasap.co.uk is our landing page. So year 3 is where we are at the moment. It commenced last April. We had 26 academic teams came in, and as I said, in the first 4 months, they went through value proposition and market validation, and now they're in the developing minimum viable product. We're now down to 13 teams, so there is a selection process as you go through, and the demo day is next Thursday. So if you're from industry, or if you're an investor, come and talk to me afterwards to see if you get a ticket. You do have to get to London, unfortunately, so, but the teams are going to be there, so that's the culmination program. So where we are now, last week the Year 4 program was signed off and is now live. So there's £800,000 available for the teams, and applications technically open on the next Monday, but the details are already available. And the key thing is, if you're at all interested, so this is aimed at people in academia who are not undergraduates, so you need to be in a university in some capacity, maybe a professor or a researcher, or maybe you're finishing a PhD, something like that, so that would be a sweet spot. Got a webinar next Tuesday, So if you can register for that online, please do so. And the applications close on the 4th of March. I must tell you, my colleagues in Innovate UK are always very rigorous. It closes at noon, and when they say noon, they mean noon. So 12:01 is too late. So please, if you're interested, do it. And then the program actually commences at the beginning of April. If you're looking, I can give you the direct link if you share me your email address. But otherwise, if you search Google or other search engines, Innovation Funding Service competitions, you'll see all of Innovate UK competitions. You've got the keyword cyber in that. You'll see about 4 different competitions. CyberASAP is one. There's digital security by design. There's an IoT security competition live at the moment, and there's some collaboration with UK and Israel as well, which is closing very shortly. I would also say at this point, the application process is very simple. There's 4 key criteria. Again, this is aimed at academics. You have to be employed or associated with a UK university. You have to have a cybersecurity idea, be interested in commercialising it, and have the support of the university. Nothing too formal, but we don't want to make sure someone applies and then finds out that their technology administrative office are not aware of it. So that's what we want to do there. I'd also say we are very interested, and again, some of the talk earlier about AI and about the human side of things. We're interested in perhaps unconventional cyber. We're not excluding firewalls, packet inspection, Bluetooth protocols, anything like that. That's fine. But if we can also add in anything that prevents somebody clicking on a link through some human factors engineering rather than a technical solution, anything that sort of looks at things like AI and machine learning and the issues that come. So we want to be very broad. We've got a very broad definition of cyber. Again, I can talk to you about that afterwards. So, turning the tables now, back to the people who are not academics. So, we also need supporters. I'm very pleased to say Melanie is one of our supporters. So we're looking for people to support as mentors, advisors, assessors along the way. Investors, of course, as well. So come and see us. We're not asking for a long-term sort of commitment that you're signed up with a team and then you've got to follow them for the next 3 or 6 months. But anything like that, it helps the cohort to take the academic cyber idea and turn it into something much more commercially focused. And then back to the other ask is just please spread the word. We've got some flyers here, as I said. I've got the booklet from last year. Register interest. As I said, it's very, very simple to apply. So if you're in need out, the money that's available, I said 800,000 is a total. For the first phase, which is 4 months, there's up to £32,000 available, and that's to pay for salary, travel and subsistence. So travel and subsistence is about the workshops and seminars we're holding in London, and salary is for the academics' time to be bought out from the university. So it's a reasonably generous amount. We hope that gives people the courage to go forward with their ideas here. And attend the webinar, please apply. If you want any more details, there's a website, we've got Twitter, we also have LinkedIn, which I've got on the slides there. I think that's about all. Are there any questions? I'm happy to take a couple now.
Thank you.
Later.
Thanks, Robin.